How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit?
Beat Making Basics.
What's going on YouTube? Beat Making Basics back again with another video. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe as well as give me a thumbs up because we're coming back to back with bangers. Now today's video, we're going to be going over how to make a hip hop beat with soulful sample chops, okay, in Logic Pro 10. So this is going to have elements of vibes of boom bap. Producers like Alchemist kind of merging that together, maybe throwing a little Kanye West vibe in there, a whole lot of different things here. So what I did is I already found some drum sounds, okay? These are kind of like lo-fi sounds or whatever. I have this musical typing up. So that's what the kick is gonna sound like. Clap, snare, hat, open hi-hat, and then I had this bass sound. All right, and what you're gonna want to do after you find your drums is go ahead and find like some type of soulful sample. You can get soulful samples a lot of places. TrackLib offers soul samples. You can find soul samples on the internet. There's a site called Splice that I use a lot that pretty much everybody knows about. They have royalty-free samples you can use here. But for this example, I've already found a soul sample, and it's going to be this one.
How can I live without your spirit? Away from your presence.
All right, so this is the one we're going to use. I already went ahead and added it to the library. Just going to drag it and drop it actually in the workspace window of Logic Pro 10. And it looks like this sample right here has some, tempo value. All right, you already had the BPM in there. The sample's going at 60 BPM. We have our session at 120, so it still works within what we got going on here. All right, now there's a couple different things you could do, especially when it comes to chopping up your samples, especially since this is already pretty much chopped. I didn't have to do too much. Like this little section right here was already ready to go. So really all I'm going to do is come to the middle of this, push Command T to chop this up, and then we can chop it up even further. Okay. And you can even come in and chop up just the little parts right here. And you can find some magic within here. So you can take this loop right here at the top and you can just move this around and just see what we have going here. Let's check it out.
How can I
So those are some nice chops.
live without your spirit?
You kind of get the point, and then we can also make chops where it has like both of these together.
How can I live?
Then you can do another chop where it has this whole part.
How can I live without your spirit?
So you want to basically make your chops here. So what I like to do, or what you can do, is you can just go ahead and push Command D a couple times, 1, 2, and then I could take this and highlight, the other chops that I wanted. So like I want a chop that, extends these 4 measures. So I'm gonna push Command C to copy it, and we'll come down to another one of these and paste it, and then I can push Command J to join it. I can do the same with this last one right here. Join that one. So we got 2 different ones there. Then I can come over here and do the smaller ones like so. Copy and go on this other track. Command J, join it. A lot of different ways to do this. There's more than one way to skin a cat for sure. But just wanted to point out that. And Command J. All right, bet. So we have different types of chops we can use. We got the super small ones, we got the medium ones, and we got the large ones, okay? Now what we could do is we can come in and take these different chops and drag them and drop them into the quick sampler. The reason why I didn't do this before is because the quick sampler, although it's a great tool, can be limited in certain things, and it makes it easier sometimes if you chop your sample up in the workspace window first, just a little bit at least, and then drag it and drop it in there. So let's do this. I'm actually gonna drag and drop this main part right here. This is how we're gonna start off our beat. So drag this in here. I'm gonna mute out everything here so I don't hear it. And what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and click on playback forward. Okay, make sure that's going. I don't like having a loop there. If you look at top, we're doing classic mode, and then I also click on follow tempo right there. And now I should be able to play this at any, key.
How can I live without your spirit?
All right, so now say if we wanted to go ahead and lay this down, let's say we do an 8-bar loop or whatever, I would just come over here and lay it down.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit?
Okay, cool. So we have that. Then I'll go ahead and quantize this, highlight everything, push Q right there, do force legato, and we're good.
How can I live without your spirit?
Okay, now that this is in place, I can also do the same thing with this other sample. I can push Command D to double that, and then I can come over here and drag this down while holding down Option, and now that MIDI information is down on this track right here. And I can come over here, and then I can come on here and use this sample. And now this should be different down here.
Away from your presence. Away from your presence.
So this is enough to go ahead and get started making the actual drums, because we can then come over here and chop up, these into the beat later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with this guy right here as far as the actual sample that we'll listen to and make drums to.
How can I live?
All right, so let's do this. We're gonna come over here, and I always like starting with a clap. All right, and then like a simple way to lay down a clap sound in Logic Pro 10 is to use the step sequencer and literally just come in and midway, click right there, and I should have the claps ready to go. Holding down Option is dragging that over.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit?
All right, after we lay down a basic clap, let's go ahead and do a kick. I usually like playing the kicks instead of actually drawing them in. You can draw them in if you want, but I'm gonna play it with the musical typing with this guy right here. And I'm gonna keep the pattern simple.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit? How can I live? How can I live? How can I live?
All right, so I got that in here. We're gonna fix this up. It sounds like the sample too could be like nudged over to the left or right some to make it, flow better. But we'll fix the drums first. So I'm gonna highlight everything, then scroll down here. Let's see how that sounds.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit? How can I live?
So then we have that. Let's go ahead and add a hi-hat. And I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. Just go over and over again.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit?
I'm gonna quantize those.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit?
Add an open hi-hat.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit?
Quantize, same process here. And then I like adding like a snare.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit? How can I live?
Okay, got that part. Then we can add some bass.
How can I live? How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit? How can I live?
And I'm literally just sounding it out in my head as I'm listening to the music.
How can I live? How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit?
Let me swap out this bass. I want it to be a bass that actually extends.
How can I live without your spirit? How can I live without your spirit?
so we got a good vamp. It took a little bit of time. My bad, y'all. I mean, you got to keep it real. It's not all about doing it super quick. All right, so we got a good pattern here. If you really listen to how this is going, it really sounds like the samples should start right here instead of right there. So what I can do is I can bounce this in place, and we can just turn this literally into like an audio file. I can just pull this right over here, and you'll see what I'm talking about once we do this. And I can also come over here to the drums and stuff like that and do that same thing. So now I can just pretty much join these to get together by pushing Command J. The video is actually ending up being longer than what I was hoping that it was going to be. We're going to continue to go though, like do this. What I'll do instead now is I'll just go ahead and start working on bringing in some sample chops here for other parts of the video, or not video, but beat. Convert the MIDI. Go. And then another cool thing I can do technically is we could do a save as. Okay, so we want to go ahead and save this project. Okay, and then we can do a save as and save like a B copy of it. And that way we can kind of get rid of some of this other stuff that we're not going to necessarily use. And we can also speed this up some. So I kind of want to speed this up. So I should have left this in there, but it's all good. So what we're going to do now, click here, not this. Click your flex tool here, click that. And that literally is going to lock that in place. Technically, this is not necessarily something I always recommend doing, but you can go ahead and come on each one of these and knock them in place as well, so we can easily drag and drop these in and it should work. So we can always switch up the pattern later if we won't like it, but I'm going to bring this up here like so, and we can just take that guy off, and now we can start playing around with like some of these other sample chops. So I'm going to take this guy and drag him into the quick sampler. So maybe I'll do live part instead. So yeah, we'll start off with something like that. And then we wanted maybe to do something different for this other part. So we'll keep on going. I'm just gonna double this up, Command D. I'm gonna open up the sampler and see what we want next. We'll just do this one. So let's try that out. Technically, we could technically come over here at this point and just repeat this, and that would be considered like a nice little solid sample chop. I don't want to make the video too long, but I want to give y'all a lot of value on this one. So let's just make sure we get keep going. So check this out. So now this is gonna be our sample. And then you can come over here and do like a basic piano sound. We go to this default patch. And I'm gonna actually click over here on my library. Also go ahead and click on piano, go to grand. So I'm not using my MIDI keyboard while I'm recording this. I'm actually using this musical typing. So for you all who don't have a MIDI keyboard, don't worry. You can actually make beats literally without it. So I'm probably just freestyle a couple of things. So you can't really hear it. Let me turn it up, and I'm gonna turn this stuff down a little bit. So then, come back in, and now the beat's coming back in.
How can I live without your spirit? 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 How can I live?
All right, y'all. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in today's video. If you all want me to finish this track up, let me know in the actual comment section below. Also, just to point out here, I'm not necessarily worried about the sound peaking as far as right now, because this is just like the beat making stage. So, when it gets to mixing, we'll make sure that there's, it's not clipping, those type of things. Anyway, make sure that you go ahead and get subscribed to the channel. Check out our site, beatmakingbasics.com. We have courses, kits, a whole lot of cool things on the site. And appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you in the next video. We're out.